Hey. Oh, my God.
It's the Merv Griffin set.
How did you get this in here?
Oh, you just bring it in sideways and hook it.
So where are you gonna sleep?
Yeah, backstage.
To Seincast, a retrospective on all 180 episodes of Seinfeld, being hosted by two guys who can barely run their own lives. Move over. My name is Vinnie.
My name's Matt.
How you doing?
Are you married right now?
Matt. Is it possible you're more beautiful than the last time I saw you?
Aw. I am so excited to be talking about this episode with you, Vinny. Let's just jump right into it. What are we discussing this week?
We are discussing the 6th episode of Season 9, The Merv Griffin Show, written by Bruce Eric Kaplan, directed by Andy Ackerman, and it aired November 6th, 1997.
I think we have reached the contest episode of Season 9.
Yep.
This is an all-time classic.
It's as clear as day in my notes that it says Michael wins the award this week for best performance, and he does.
Yeah, one of the all-time best Kramer episodes, one of the best episodes really of Season 9. Very excited to talk about this episode with you, Vinny. Let's talk a little trivia before we get started. First episode written by Bruce Eric Kaplan, who I think we've mentioned before on Seincast. He was a writer on the show, and I think he contributed a few ideas for other people's episodes, but this is the first credited script of his. He also will come back to write the cartoon later this season, and he is one of many writers on the Puerto Rican Day. If you check out his IMDb, you'll see credits for producing and writing 6 Feet Under, as well as Girls. But I think most people will recognize his name. He is one of the probably more popular cartoonist for The New Yorker. You can recognize his initials, BEK, in each drawing, but his characters are pretty unique. They're really wide, kind of. I don't know how else to describe it, but when you compare them to most New Yorker cartoons, they really stand out.
He's not ripping off any Ziggies, is he?
Maybe we should talk about that in the cartoon episode. There is a lawsuit pending. No, just kidding. Let's talk about some production trivia. This episode was originally titled The Merv Griffin Set before it was changed to The Merv Griffin Show. I don't really think there's a big difference between the two. Do you?
I don't know. I hear set. I'm like, because it is the show. We got the show that happens in Kramer's apartment.
Yeah, in my notes, I stopped referring to it as Kramer's apartment, and I just said, all right, we're on set. Like, just treat it like a real show. Lots to say about the toy storyline this week, but the original idea would be that Jerry would borrow a toy from his girlfriend. Which one was it?
Super Ball!
Yeah, Jerry would borrow the Super Ball toy. It was precious, and he'd lose it. And that's sort of where the story would take us this week. But it was Jerry's idea to make it this huge toy collection. And, something I didn't get the first time I saw this episode, I was only 12, was really this very dark humor of drugging a woman to play with her toy collection. How do you feel about the storyline this week? Do you think this is something that could fly in, today's world?
I don't know. I was thinking about that during the watch. And if it was an established show like a Seinfeld that had been on for many years and they tried this, and give it like It's Always Sunny, I could see them doing this storyline, pulling it off, and nobody batting an eye. And actually, there have been some controversial storylines, especially in the later seasons, that nobody even raised a fuss about. But if it's a new show starting out, I don't think this would fly.
Right.
And George is an accomplice in drugging a woman, and then Elaine closes out the episode doing the same thing.
And it's interesting when you go back to, I forget the episode name, but when Tim Watley and his assistant would take advantage of Jerry under the gas, and Elaine doesn't really think it's that big of a deal. She's like, so what? You were violated. Just interesting, approaches to this subject matter on this show. And I really think this one, to a casual observer or a child, like I was only 12, it kind of goes over your head, right?
Yeah. I definitely would not recommend this one as you do not introduce someone to Seinfeld with this episode. Let them get a sense of the characters from seasons 2, 3, and 4, and then you show the Merv Griffin Show.
It's funny because the Kramer stuff is so good.
Yeah.
I would say, oh yeah, this is a great introduction to the characters. But yeah, you might get the wrong impression from Jerry this week.
And George is stomping out pigeons, and so all sorts of crap is going on.
Well, probably the most interesting bit of trivia this week, Jerry's apartment, the set, does not appear in this episode.
Whoa.
Which is pretty crazy, right?
I'm trying to recap the episode and prove you wrong. I got nothing.
You get the hallway. He's about to open the door, but Elaine and Jerry move into Kramer's apartment. I can't think of another episode that wasn't isolated, like a parking garage or a movie
restaurant
where Jerry's apartment is not seen. I think this might be the only episode.
Now, did you arrive at this on your own?
No, I read this online. I won't take credit for it, but I thought it was incorrect. I'm like, no, you're incorrect. I thought there was something wrong with that trivia, but no, sure enough. Logistically, they had to take Jerry's apartment apart because they didn't have enough room on the stage. Kramer's apartment with the Merv Griffin Show set was shot in front of an audience, and it's huge. So, they needed the space, hence why we never see Jerry's place.
And then the other focus would be at Peterman's, right? Because we see a lot of scenes there, too.
Yeah, I don't know if those are shot in front of an audience.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I really think just Jerry's apartment and Monk's are in front of an audience. I think everything else is kind of shot on their own. And the audience, will watch a tape or they'll reenact it for the live audience. And, I never realized that until Jerry and Gary Shandling filmed their episode of Comedians in Cars. They go to that original stage where Seinfeld was set. And sure enough, it's not all that big. You can tell there's only really room for 2 sets. So, anywho, let's talk about the big storyline this week, the Merv Griffin Show. Seinfeld set designer Tom Azzari designed this entire set based on photos from the original Merv Griffin Show. Some Seinfeld people contacted Merv Griffin's people, and they were nice enough to send photos and behind-the-scenes looks, and they were able to kind of recreate their own version of his set. I think his show went through a lot of transformations over the 25 years it was on. Were you familiar with the Merv Griffin Show? A little before our time, but...
Not at all. Mm-hmm. My only exposure to Merv Griffin is due to Kramer finding it in a dumpster.
Well, when you check out any Merv Griffin Show clips on YouTube, there are a ton of Seinfeld fans on there. Leaving quotes and references to this episode. I'll include some links in the show notes. I found some appearances of Jerry on Merv Griffin from the early 80s when he was breaking out. I've mentioned this before. There's a great Buddy Rich, Mel Torme performance. And just an incredible lineup of guests over the 25 years he was on. It's insane. He had a great balance of comedy with politics, with social issues, actors, just whole range of guests. So despite being before our time, there's plenty of clips online if anyone out there wants to check it out. But what do you say we get started, Vinny, talking about the episode?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're on the street. Kramer borrowed Jerry's blender and hasn't returned it yet. He tries telling Jerry, "Hey, it's no big deal. You and I were like Cain and Abel, best buds." And we kind of get some confusion over who Cain and Abel actually were. Did you get all the references here?
I knew the story of Cain and Abel, and then Kramer's mistaking them for Jekyll and Hyde. And is there a third?
There is a third, and I wasn't that familiar with this one. It's the ant and the grasshopper story, where the ant's prepared for winter and the grasshopper doesn't. And when winter comes, the grasshopper's like, "Hey, give me food, help me out." And they're like, "F*** you."
Okay.
Essentially. That's what Jerry is referencing. But, I like this confusion. This feels like you're, like a typical Seinfeld scenario, and kind of reminds me of a season 8 cold open.
Mm-hmm.
All of this to say, Kramer broke Jerry's blender, right?
Well, I was trying to make gravel, and I just didn't work out.
Now, I got a project for you, Vinny. Can you think of anything else Kramer has borrowed from Jerry over the years?
Have you got an hour? He borrows his couch cushion when he's going to guard Elaine's armoire.
That's true. The wrench with the weak hinge. Yeah, you're right. I think we do need an hour to go through all of them.
Yeah.
Well, continuing on their walk, Kramer notices a dumpster full of what looks to be an old TV show set. You know, the backdrop, chairs, etc., and quickly recognizes the set from the old Merv Griffin Show. And Kramer just hops in the dumpster. Can't believe why someone would throw any of it out.
Yeah, 1 minute Elliot Gould is sitting on you, and the next thing you're yesterday's trash.
And Kramer is just going wild in the dumpster, even finds Merv Griffin's cigar. Now, I kind of skipped over some of the dialogue there, but Kramer says this should be in the Smithsonian. And, I don't think you and I have ever been to the Smithsonian, have we?
Not together, but I've been and I have seen the puffy shirt.
Right, the puffy shirt was inducted, back in 2004, I think.
Right about the time when the DVDs came out, right?
And what's great about that, I don't have the quote in front of me, but Jerry is there during the induction, and he's just ridiculing the Smithsonian for inducting a T-shirt from a sitcom.
Yeah, so he's like, boy, this is a sad day. You have sunk into a new low kind of thing.
Right.
Perfect form for Jerry.
Mm-hmm. And it's still there today, so if anyone's in D.C., check it out.
Stop on by. Matt, I didn't know this, and this is kind of cool for me and you. Some deleted dialogue reveals that this dumpster is located outside the Court Theater. And why I bring this up is because that is where we saw Fish in the Dark, 138 West 48th Street in New York City. We should have went around the back alley. Larry David's banana peel.
All right. Well, while Kramer is dumpster diving, let's cut over to George's car. He's driving with his girlfriend, Miranda, and seems, very pleased with himself. He spilled a yogurt smoothie in the car 2 days ago. Can't smell anything, can you?
Banana?
Right.
Hey, they make a really nice couple. She's a great smeller. He hears everything. He may or may not be able to spot those raccoons.
Well, Miranda tells George, hey, watch out for some pigeons in the road, but he just brushes it aside, saying, oh, they'll move out of the way. He'd rather talk about this strong sense of smell. But the birds don't move, and George drives right over them. It's probably the cheesiest, cheapest effect, right? It's just feathers shooting up into the air.
You get the gist.
Yeah.
Arabella Field plays Miranda. She was in Dante's Peak, Godzilla, and National Treasure.
It's nothing against the performance, but one of the least memorable girlfriends of George's, I feel.
Yeah, I just really know her affinity for animals and her Uma Thurman haircut.
Yeah, that's right.
Pulp Fiction style.
Interesting how the three guys have all killed a bird or birds.
Ooh, let's examine. So we got George killing some pigeons. Yes. Jerry dumping water on Miss Rhode Island's doves. Now, where does Kramer kill a bird? You're not talking about the turkey.
Mm-mm.
Is it birds plural?
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Single bird?
Single bird.
What kind of birds are there? Damn. Can you give me a hint? No. What season?
I'll give you a big hint here. Weak and stupid.
Oh, Fredo.
Yeah.
We didn't get there ooh. We didn't get there yet, did we?
No, not yet. That's coming up.
Okay. I'm going to blame it on, that's on you then.
Oh, okay.
And as you know, I'm a 1 through 3 connoisseur, 4 through 6, and then 7 through 9 is where I kind of,
Well, let's cut over to Jerry's girlfriend's apartment. This is Celia. They come back to her place in the middle of what conversation here?
Whether or not there was a gentleman named Joseph Garnish who would put a sprig of parsley on the plate.
It was his idea.
I actually use a variation of that joke all the time. Whenever someone's like, who invented the stereo? I'll be like, oh, Joe Stereo. I'll say it like I know it. Mm-hmm. And I'll just, insert the name of said device after Joe.
How does that go?
It gets a laugh.
Oh, good for you.
I love it. Try it.
Anytime I try to pull a Seinfeld reference out like that, it's usually met with confusion. It's all latitude. This reminded me of another conversation of Jerry's, but I can't put my my finger on it. Maybe it's like the whole war. What is it good for? Or
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of too. I'm not joking.
It's a very typical Jerry joke.
Playful.
This is Jerry's first time at Celia's place, and kind of like Kramer in the beginning, he's amazed to see that she has an entire wall covered with vintage toys. Turns out her dad was a collector, and she inherited them after he died from a long, painful bout with
Super Bowl! Hey, an original G.I. Joe with the full frogman suit.
Yeah, Jerry turns into a kid here, grabs the toy, and he's going to head to the sink. But Celia stops him, explaining, hey, these toys are priceless. You know, they've never been played with.
I just want to touch them a little.
I said no. Now, come here. Yeah, we get this. Again, I've said this before. Any close-up on Jerry just always cracks me up. It's Jerry kissing Celia and just eyeing these toys, going crazy.
Not any eyeing, but wide eye.
Mm-hmm.
Julia Pennington plays Celia. She only has 12 credits on her IMDb page, her last one being in 2009, which was He's Just Not That Into You.
She reminds me of an actress that was on Mad TV.
Okay.
I forget her name. She had blonde hair. She kind of looks like her. Anyways, it's not her. Sorry. It's a typical Matt comment. It's like with, Risa from last week. I thought it was that one actress from The Affair and Liar Liar.
You look like, yeah.
Did you ever play with Super Ball or G.I. Joe, I guess?
My brother did have the original G.I. Joes because he's much older than me, so I played with those a little bit when I was younger. And I always liked that the doll had a beard and hair, but it actually felt like hair. It wasn't painted on. That was pretty cool.
Let's cut over to a break room at the J. Peterman catalog. Elaine is making some coffee when she turns around, and this guy is just standing there. Who is he?
I'm Lou Filerman. I'm new here.
Very odd, as he just walks off. Later, Elaine's coworker, Walter, who we've seen before, he comes in, and she asks him, hey, what's the deal with the new guy?
He's Lou Filerman. He's new here.
And a great trivia question here for you, Vinny. Who does Walter think her coffee stain looks like?
Castro, right?
Yes.
Like you try to trick me there. So Lou Filerman is played by Brent Hinkley, and he's new here. He was in Silence of the Lambs and Ed Wood. And then we have the return of Wayne Wilderson as Walter. We first saw him in The Summer of George, and then he'll come back and appear in The Apology and The Frogger.
Right on. He kind of reminds me of Ike Barinholtz. Do you know that guy?
He does, yes. From Mindy Project.
Mindy Project, right. Stand-up comedian. He's done a bunch of stuff.
Writer, yeah.
Well, let's cut over to Monks. Turns out Miranda thinks George is a butcher for driving over the pigeons. And George is upset, of course, because, he thought, hey, we have a deal with the pigeons, right?
Of course we have a deal. They get out of the way of our cars, and we look the other way on the statue defecation.
So both George and Jerry are pretty frustrated. Miranda has cooled on George, and despite Jerry and Celia having some wild sex, she won't let him near her toy collection. And Elaine joins the guys. Another great trivia question for you, Vinny. Who does George think her coffee stain looks like?
Art Garfunkel?
Castro.
One of my regrets with this episode, I don't know why, and it probably would have been really out of place, but I wish the prop masters or the costume department would have come up with stains that you could see a close-up that it actually looked like Castro. Is that weird?
No, I can't really see any similarities, like
between Art Garfunkel with that. Wait, is he the one with the hair or no hair?
Yeah, he has the fro. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you got Castro because I'm thinking of a hat and the beard, so the hair would be opposite. Nevertheless, I want to see a silhouette on Elaine's sleeve up close.
It would have been really weird if George was like, I met Castro. That is true.
Yeah, it is.
Like how? I mean, it's funny. We always, we don't complain, but we take issue with some of the, wackier elements of Seinfeld. And oh my God, if there were ever a wacky episode, it's this one. But if George said that, that would just be ridiculous. Yet it happened in what, season 6?
We just saw it. That's so funny. That why not? Make a little comment to nod back to that.
Well, Elaine tells them about the creepy guy at work, how he just appears out of nowhere. And we get this great sign term for Lou. He's a real sidler. In fact, he sidled her again in her office, right?
Yeah, she was making a cup of soup and singing that song from The Lion King.
Hakuna Matata?
I thought I was alone.
Well, that doesn't make it right. The term sidler is maybe not super memorable, but it's one of my favorite terms to come out of the show.
Oh, yeah.
I get sidled on a regular basis. My wife is a sidler, but not in the creepy or annoying way, like in this episode. But, I'll just be doing something, and all of a sudden, she's right there.
She's very fleet of foot.
Yeah, and it's weird how, someone is in the house. They're in the house, but I'm in my own thoughts. I'm not paying attention. It really freaks me out.
I kind of sidled my girlfriend the other day. She was showering.
Okay.
In the shower. No, but she always...
Take it easy.
She always puts her towel and a t-shirt, because she does her hair in a t-shirt. She puts those on this little... It's a thing she does to wrap her hair up. She'd use the t-shirt.
Why not a towel?
You got me.
Oh, man.
I don't understand women. But she... As she was getting out of the shower, the curtain is still closed.
Cut this out.
And I put my head right where she went to go grab her towel, and I had a big smile on my face. And she goes, you scared me. But it was a nice little moment. So kind of a sidle, not really. I just like that story.
Well, on that note, let's cut over to the first of many scenes that take place in Kramer's apartment.
See, to me, the Hakuna Matata is not nearly as embarrassing as the cup of
Would
soup.
you just let it go?
Hey, Jerry, come here a sec.
Hey. Oh, my God.
It's the Merv Griffin set.
How did you get this in here?
Oh, you just bring it in sideways and hook it.
So where are you going to sleep?
Yeah, backstage.
This chair smells like garbage.
Oh, well, a lot of the stars from the 70s, they were not as hygienic as they appeared on TV. Now, you take Mannix, for example.
I'm going to get that.
All right, well, Jerry, we'd love to have you back anytime.
Well, Elaine Bennis. Well, it's great to have you. Wait, is it possible that you're even more beautiful than the last time I saw you?
It's a shame you guys can't see the visuals for this episode, because there's so many little things Michael does that just elevate his performance this week. Aside, you're hearing the audio only, but man,
Yeah, and he hasn't really...
he's not amped up yet to Merv Griffin status,
Right.
But just the way he'll nudge Jerry to move down, let Elaine sit here, that kind of thing, and then he does it later when George arrives.
Mm-hmm. And I guess Jerry and Elaine think it's really bizarre, but Elaine quickly falls into the
Yeah.
The guest on the TV show. But some great Kramer dialogue. We're just going to be pouring over it this week. Kick it off with, you just bring it in sideways and hook it. It's like, how do you make those noises? Also, when Elaine's like, oh, that smell. And Kramer's like, well, a lot of stars from the 70s, they weren't as hygienic as they appeared on TV.
Take your Mannix, for example.
Yeah. And that whole idea of Elaine smelling something funky, it's kind of similar to the mattress.
Yeah.
Like on a visual level.
And who funkified her mattress?
The K-Man, yeah.
That Kramer. So a couple things. There was an alternate line that they were going to use. Instead of the chair smells like garbage, Elaine was going to say, glad to see you got rid of the chicken coop, which would have been a nice tie-in to the little Jerry as well as the voice.
Very good. Mending chicken wire.
Exactly. And then the other thing is Mannix was referenced just now. That was previously referenced in a season 3 episode. Can you name it?
I can't. I don't remember it being referenced.
Yeah, you tuck and roll. You won't get hurt. We're doing 60 miles an hour.
Oh, who are you, Mannix?
There it is.
Oh, man. Thank you
Again,
for the
all these references from the 70s and 80s that I don't know, because I don't know Mannix, I don't know Merv Griffin, but I still love it.
Yeah. But now you know it, so.
Sure.
Let's cut over to Central Park. George is taking a walk and notices some pigeons eating, and he thinks about it for a moment and then runs through them, kind of expecting it to go the way it does on the boardwalk.
That's true. They've already established this deal.
Yeah, the birds fly when you run through them, but nope, the pigeons stay put, and he tramples them, feathers shoot up into the air, and a mother and a son watch in horror.
We had a deal!
I was trying to figure out what you call a group of pigeons, a collective noun. But when pigeons are flying, the collective noun is a kit. A kit of pigeons.
Kit? Oh.
So there you go. And with that, let's go over to Peterman's office. Elaine is dropping off a work assignment to her boss, but he stops her.
One moment. I am reading the most fascinating article on the most fascinating people of the year. And... not.
Peterman looks over the paperwork and thanks them for the hard work. That's right, not just Elaine, but also Lou, who is standing behind her. There's something here that really, bothers Elaine, because now he's sort of doing we'll see more of this later, but kind of like a Bob Grossberg thing. Rob Schneider, where he would sort of accept assignments if they were easy and kind of like pass assignments to someone else if it was too difficult.
Yeah, my first thought was Banya, because he's taking credit for Jerry's laughs. But same thing.
All right, well, I want to accelerate to the next scene here, because it's the first of many incredible scenes. We are on the set of the Merv Griffin Show.
So 3 dates and she still won't let me play with the toys.
That's interesting. Someone mentioned to me you were not very happy with your toys growing up.
Yeah, that was me.
That's right. And you mentioned that you didn't get a G.I. Joe. You had...
An Army Pete.
Right.
He was made of wood, and in the rain he would swell up and then split.
And we all know how painful that can be.
Jerry?
Oh,
there
Elaine
you-
Bennis! Well, this is quite a thrill. Yes, come. Oh, man.
Well, I'll tell you, this Seidler guy is really chapping my hide.
Excuse me. Yeah, we're talking this way.
Well, he's getting credit for work that I did. He's gonna sidle me right out of a job.
Now, for those of us who don't know, sidling is what?
Kramer, what is wrong with you?
What do you mean?
Well, for starters, you're looking at note cards. I'm gonna have to give that guy a taste of his own medicine. So, I am going to sidle the sidler.
You sidle? You stomp around like a Clydesdale.
Not with these honeys. Wrestling shoes.
Only in New York. Jerry? Oh! Hey! Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's our good friend, George Costanza. What a surprise!
Turn music off.
Well, it happened again.
What happened?
I'll ask the questions. What happened?
I just stomped some pigeons in the park. They didn't move.
All right, let's change the subject. Now, you and Jerry dated for a while. Tell us, what was that like? That's wrong card.
I don't get these birds. They're breaking the deal. It's like the pigeons decided to ignore me.
So they're like everyone else.
All right, let's take a short break. Okay, we're back.
So there you have it. You know, I think that was like a 3-minute clip, but it's one of the all-time best Seinfeld scenes. It's so good. And it takes me back. I don't know if you remember this, Vinny, but we used to have commercial breaks, in a sense, on Seincast, where if there was an act break on the show, I would plug a little, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 minute video from YouTube in there, the audio that was, you know, related to our conversation.
Oh, cool.
And it would be bookended with Kramer saying, like, let's take a short break to, we're back.
Appropriate.
Yeah.
That subtle little burp that Michael does after eating the chips, stuffing his face with the chips, taking a swig of Diet Cola, it, for me, is like one of the highlights of this scene. It's like so subtle and effortless, but it's perfect for that Kramer character. And that is what leads to one of the best bloopers to come out of a Seinfeld.
Yeah, and you can actually see parts of the blooper in this episode. I think Julia is shifting in her chair when the camera's on Michael, so you can see her laughing. Does Jason crack?
You'll see Jason's shoulders bob up and down when there's an over-the-shoulder shot looking at Kramer. You'll see Jason start to bob.
I think it's right when Kramer burps. Mm-hmm. That gets him, but...
Even when Julia, like in interviews, when she talks about this scene, she will still recall with like she'll still laugh and crack up at the thought of this scene, which I cherish.
Michael takes a break to eat chips and drink a drink, but it's not a commercial. It's not a commercial break. He just does it in the middle of the interview. I'm fairly certain he came up with that himself, but it was so funny. Oh my God. And that was another instance in which I really was working so hard. I do this a lot sometimes when I can't keep it together, and I'm just trying to actually break skin in an effort not to cry from laughing. I'll just never forget him doing that.
Well, apparently in the script, it was only supposed to be like a few seconds, the break. But Andy Ackerman told Michael, he's like, just run with it. And I think in reality, they might have filmed it for like a good minute or so of just Michael sitting there in silence and eating, drinking a soda.
Oh, I'd love to have that just uncut footage of him just sitting there.
One of the most interesting bits of trivia in this scene is the music he plays, you know, with the Merv Griffin theme. You hear Michael's voice go, or I'm sorry, Kramer's voice say, turn music off. And that same thing happened in the Muffin Tops.
For the Peterman reality bus tour.
Right. Turn music off. Mm-hmm. I thought that was interesting. Nice continuity there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, what a great scene. And there's more to come, fortunately. Let's cut over to George's car. Things are pretty tense for George as he drives around with Miranda. He even tries to be, you know, interesting with, hey, that bank clock is 8 minutes off.
Then why don't you just run it over 2?
Zing.
You like that one a lot.
Yeah. I think we use that a lot in real life.
Yeah.
George continues driving and spots a pigeon farther up the road. And as he approaches, he makes a quick decision and swerves out of the way. He saved that pigeon's life.
What pigeon? You drove right into that squirrel. I do like this discussion in this plot point of deals with squirrels and pigeons, because I feel like it's something Larry would approve of, because it's kind of minutia-esque, but yet in a 9th season kind of way. Because, you know, you do assume when you're driving down the road that those animals will move. Although sometimes squirrels will go left, then go right, then go back to, you know. So, but I do like this particular plot device.
This is a tough episode to talk about realistic storylines, but
Yeah.
the first act of George's story, yeah, it does feel very Larry. But the second half,
oh yeah,
when they go to the vet, it just gets insane. But no complaints here. Let's cut over to Celia's apartment. Jerry and Celia are on the couch watching a movie when Jerry slowly reaches over and plays with some army men. And Celia, of course, gets upset, understandably. Those hands, they never stop.
You got any booze? What do you say you and I get ripped?
Celia's actually got a headache and asks Jerry, could you get me an aspirin from the medicine cabinet? And while in the bathroom, Jerry sees 2 types of pills.
Will not cause drowsiness. May cause drowsiness.
So it's pretty dark, Jerry wanting to play with this woman's toys, against her will, but now he's actually going to drug her to see what happens. Can you think of another time Jerry opened someone's medicine cabinet?
Fungicide. Fungus?
Fungus?
That'd be Bonkers.
Yes.
What's her name?
Tawny.
Are you always a good kisser? Yeah, I like this because it's about pills, and I love that shot that Andy Ackerman created with it's from the view of the medicine cabinet, and we're seeing Jerry kind of analyze the pills.
Mm-hmm.
The couple things struck me here. The first is Jerry is so fixated on playing with her toys, he doesn't even revel in the fact that he has like free reign to just peruse her medicine cabinet. Contrast to Tawny, he was sneaking around like a cat burglar. Can you get me an aspirin?
Would any aspirin cause drowsiness?
Well, what is that? What she asked for? An aspirin?
Yeah.
A lot of those medications will come with like a PM, so like Tylenol PM,
yeah.
and it'll have a Benadryl in there. In lighter news, there's deleted dialogue in which Jerry tells Celia that Slinky and Slinky Jr. are good for headache, and she asks, "Is that all you ever think about? Toys?" And Jerry answers, "I'm sorry. It's been kind of a long time."
So they're really hammering home this obsession he has with toys.
These aren't buoys.
Let's cut over to Peterman's office here. Kind of a reversal. It's now Lou Filerman, he's new here, dropping off a work assignment to the big guy.
Here's the new copy you wanted.
Oh, yes. Well, it certainly looks like a lot of words in record time. I'm very impressed with both of you.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, I am also disgusted. This is incoherent drivel. This is a total redo. And I'm assuming I need it right away.
Well, I guess we'll just have... Oh, just give me that.
So the sidler just got sidled.
Yes, but then
she got desidled.
she who was sidled got sidled again.
There it is. I've sidled before, don't you?
I love Elaine's how pleased she is with the wink and the
mm-hmm.
And Lou gives her this look. It's sort of not menacing, but he looks at her like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah, he's onto her.
Like, you think you can sidle me?
Think again. I think Peterman's best line comes from this clip in which he says, "This is a total redo, and I'm assuming I need it right away."
Now, the scene originally continued. It didn't cut when Elaine leaves with the paperwork. I love it when this happens. You can actually see where the scene would continue. As she walks away, Peterman looks up from what he's doing, and he's about to say something to Elaine. And what he would say in this deleted scene was noticing her footwear and adding, "Elaine, unless you're about to engage me in a figgy 4 headlock, lose the shoes."
Lose
the shoes. I'm surprised he wouldn't do something like, "Elaine, those shoes are incredible. I want you to work on some new shoes designed for wrestlers," or something. I don't know.
The new Figgy 4 slingback pumps. No?
Yes. Back to Celia's apartment. Celia is passed out on the couch after taking the drowsy medication, and Jerry is playing with a bunch of toys on the coffee table, mainly that G.I. Joe Frogman suit.
Mission accomplished. Back to base, Joe.
It's a great visual of him playing. There's a couple of other things out, like there's some Play-Doh, I think a fire truck.
This is a vintage toy collector's dream. I can't get over how many old toys are in there.
Yeah, we don't have any trivia, unfortunately, on where the toys came from, but I'm sure there's some collector who donated them or lent them to the show
on loan.
Mm-hmm. All right, we get an act break, and let's see, we're at a veterinary clinic. I think we've been here before, right?
Yeah, we were here previously in the Andrea Doria when Kramer and Smuckers were having their coughs examined.
Mm-hmm. Well, Miranda made George take the squirrel to a vet, and they hear that in order for him to get better, it'll be costly, difficult, and they'll have to send away for some special, really tiny instruments. They could always put the squirrel to sleep, though. What might that cost?
Well, it's by the pound, so about 80 cents.
But Miranda shuts that idea down.
I was just curious. I was just curious. Oh, there it is.
All right.
Jake's buy me a Coke.
Love it when that happens. They want the vet to do everything he can to save the squirrel. We've been to this vet clinic before, and I think this is the same vet from that scene, right?
Yeah, same vet, same veterinarian. This is Rick Hall. He not only was he in that Andrea Doria episode, but he was also in a Curb episode, The Car Salesman. He was the owner of the dealership.
In some material cut from the end of the scene, George takes a credit card out, I guess, to pay for the surgery, and he says, "Do you take the Clovis card? I get Greyhound bus miles." So kind of echoes of I get frequent flyer miles. I'll return the ticket.
Is Clovis related to Greyhound in any way? I'm not familiar with that card.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the Clovis card either. And I just did a Google search. I'm not finding anything on it. So either it's made up or it's just something that wasn't that popular at the time. But the whole reason I bring that up is there would have been some material at the top of the next scene when we're on the Merv Griffin set where, like, the reference to the Clovis card, he maxes it out, and then he can take a Greyhound bus all the way to El Paso. So that's kind of like how it would have connected to the next scene.
All right. Are you buying that George is willing to fork over all this dough just to save a squirrel for a woman? And old George Costanza, I would think, would have trouble coming to grips with that.
Something we haven't really tracked with George and Miranda is that there's no sex in this relationship because she's so upset with him, and he's just so desperate, I guess. Like he's holding out for the sex. Mm-hmm. That's why he's going through, all these hoops to make it happen, I guess. So, I mean, like, if it's for sex, someone like George, I guess I could see him do this, but
he's previously claimed to be a sexual camel.
That's true.
So, something about her.
But maybe it's really difficult for him to actually, get a date.
Oh.
So
yes.
So he doesn't want to let her go.
Okay, all right, I'm back on board.
But yeah, it is a little out there. There doesn't seem to be anything special about Miranda. Like, I don't know, someone like Susan, you could see him doing this, or
Marissa Tomei.
Well, that goes without saying. Well, let's cut over to the Merv Griffin Show. George is the guest here, talking to Jerry and Kramer, and a new co-host.
So they're flying the tiny instruments in from El Paso.
El Paso. I spent a month there one night.
El Paso.
What's he here for?
Well, he takes some of the pressure off of me. So, Jerry, what's going on with you? I understand there's a young lady in your life.
Well, actually, it's kind of a funny story because she has this amazing toy collection, and last night I finally got to play with them.
Well, sounds like things are progressing. Do I hear wedding bells?
Are you married right now?
No.
Actually, she doesn't even know about the toys. I gave her the wrong kind of medicine, and I guess she passed out.
What do you mean, wrong kind of medicine?
She's even got that old Mattel football game that we love.
Oh, come on. You gotta get me over there.
Wait a minute. You mean to say that you drugged a woman so you could take advantage of her toys? Let's pause a moment. Jerry, now what you do with your personal life is your business. But when you're on my set, you clean it up, mister.
I told you he was a risk.
Oh, like he's not just carrying you, and has been for years.
Yeah, well, you bomb. That story stunk worse than these chairs.
Smile, everyone. We're back.
I love Newman here, man. That story stunk worse than these chairs.
Cheers. That line was actually not in the script. They came up with it on set. So I'm not sure if Wayne Knight came up with it or was included by the writers, but dynamite.
Zing, yeah.
And just him and even in a fictional television reality, Jerry and Newman still go at it. You know, there's no cameras or audience there, but he's been carrying you, has been for years.
Do you think that's sort of meta commentary on
Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon kind of thing?
Not only that, but outside of the Merv Griffin Show, the Kramer character has been carrying Newman, like on the show Seinfeld. All right.
But potentially. But I feel like Newman always had 2 feet to stand on before they started teaming him up.
But you're right. It's more commentary on any kind of sidekick, right, on a talk show. Hey, by the way, how are things going between you and Kelly? Do I hear wedding bells?
Matt.
I love Newman jumping in there. Are you married right now? He's just.
So I guess he was able to get away from the Postmaster General.
Yeah, who knows what happened there, right? We don't talk about those things.
He got out.
One of the coolest bits of trivia or like Easter eggs in this scene is when Jerry talks about Celia and what he's doing, and Kramer is like, what are you doing? Why are you talking about this on my show? And he pauses. They go to break, and there's some music playing on the tape recorder. And, I didn't really notice it. I just read about this, but apparently that music on the tape is the opening theme from the Jerry pilot.
Oh, yeah.
Which I still don't hear it. It's kind of there.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's clear as day. Put your headphones in, but you'll hear it, and it's definitely the Jerry pilot music.
Right on. I love
Pretty
that.
Cool.
So did Kramer just, hold the recorder up to the TV?
Yeah, that's the same recorder.
All right, let's cut over to Elaine's office. Elaine has Lou stop by and kind of has trouble explaining that he's a sidler. So instead she says, oh, there's a problem with your... Which he's like, oh, you mean my dead tooth?
No, you're...
That dead tooth always reminds me of Maureen Ponderosa.
Yes, it does.
Elaine says, all right, because of your breath, you shouldn't go anywhere without some Tic Tacs, and gives him a little container. And as we all know, you carry one of those things around, you're making a lot of noise. So now she can hear him wherever he goes in the office.
Thanks, Elaine. You're such a super lady.
Who is this guy? He's such an odd character. Like,
he may be one of the quirkiest single-shot characters we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to learn even more about him in some subsequent scenes. Did you notice there's 3 descriptors that Elaine uses when she talks to Lou?
Yeah, I didn't write them down.
He's spontaneous.
Oh, symmetrical?
Yeah. And he's...
You're very quick.
Very quick.
I like symmetrical. That's a good one.
Yeah. I think she was running out of superlatives.
Yes. Well, let's cut over to Celia's apartment. Celia, Jerry, and George are having this huge feast.
More wine and turkey?
So when I saw George on the street with an 18-pound turkey and a giant box of wine, I thought, what a coincidence. We're just about to eat.
What is that stuff in turkey that makes you sleepy?
Tryptophan. I think. Have some more wine.
What video did you get?
Oh, George brought home movies of his boyhood trip to Michigan.
4 hours.
More heavy gravy?
Yes! Touchdown! Your turn, Jerry.
Touchdown! Yeah!
I love the more heavy gravy, and when he pours the whole thing on her plate.
Mm-hmm. The giant box of wine, the huge turkey, the in unison response to, what's that stuff that makes you sleep from turkey? Tryptophan.
I think. Are you familiar with tryptophan? Like, is that pretty common knowledge?
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, I learned it from the show, so I learned it from you. You were mentioning the bloopers to come out of the scene earlier, but I'd argue these bloopers are just as good.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry, real life Jerry cannot get through the scene from when I saw George on the street and the gravy. So here you go.
More wine and turkey?
So when I saw George on the street with an 18-pound turkey and a giant box of food. So when I saw George on the street with an 18-pound turkey. We can use all this.
Yeah. One more time.
More heavy gravy?
What is that stuff in turkey that makes you sleepy?
Tryptophan. I think. Have some more wine.
Oh, what video did you get?
Oh, George brought some home movies of his boyhood trip to Michigan.
4 hours.
More. Forget it.
I wonder how much gravy they had to make.
Yeah, just multiple plates cycling through.
You just destroy, it just covers the entire plate in gravy. Good stuff. Well, let's cut over to the Merv Griffin Show. Things have changed. No guests, just Newman and a very bored Kramer.
Lately, though, I've been buying the generic brand of wax beans. I rip off the label. I can hardly tell the difference.
We've officially bottomed out. Who's our next guest?
We got no one.
We need a new format. We should shut down and retool.
What about a guest host?
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
I love that Newman is so on board with Kramer and this Merv Griffin thing. Like, he doesn't question it for a second.
He's trying to be helpful.
But he's sucking at it.
Generic brand of waxed beans. And one of my favorite bits of dialogue, we've used it on this show many times. For good reason, too. Kramer saying, oh, we've officially bottomed out.
You mean just whistling Dixie?
Yeah. All right, so they're going to shut down and retool.
Retooling. I'll retool you.
There it is. Let's cut over to the veterinary clinic here. The tiny instruments arrived in time to save the squirrel, and Miranda makes George visit the little furry creature in this room alone. And what does the vet say? You have 30 minutes.
You have 30 minutes, yeah.
And it's such a stupid prop, but it's like a little bassinet, and you see
the little tuft of a tail poking out. It's very similar to when George was thrust upon Susan's grave, and it's like, we'll leave you alone to talk to her.
Good call.
He doesn't want to be.
Yeah, George doesn't want to be in this situation at all, and before he can say really anything, he finds out that he actually has to take care of the squirrel from now on. That's medicine 6 times a day, and keep the tail elevated. So, there you go. Later at Monk's, George is just like, what the hell, man? This is a wild invalid. It's probably going to gnaw my brain out as soon as it gets better, since it knows George ran it over.
Ooh. Who else has been gnawed by a squirrel? Different universe, though.
Oh, can we save that?
You got it somewhere else?
Well, I've got it somewhere else because of the visual similarity.
Oh, yeah, I saw you put it in on Facebook. Okay.
Right on. Well, let's just move on to this Kramer stuff here. He stops by. He invites Jerry back on the show. They've got a new format. It's edgy. It's youthful. Plus, they got Jim Fowler from Wild Kingdom. How does Kramer know Jim Fowler?
Oh, Kramer practically raised his kids.
All right. I don't know what world we're living in here, but Let's go with it. George sees an opportunity to get rid of the squirrel since, Jim is a big animal guy. Could George stop by?
2 animal acts on the same show? Is this amateur hour? He looks at Jerry and kind of like shields his mouth, to safeguard George's feelings in a way.
Kramer doesn't think it's a good idea, and this is as Elaine arrives and finds out that Jerry had George over to Celia's to play with her toys.
What? It's a victimless crime.
What about the woman who's been drugged and taken advantage of?
Okay, one victim.
Man. This is what I'm saying. Like, this subject matter, I think, I just don't see it flying even on It's Always Sunny. It's tricky. I mean, do you think it's pretty, clear what's happening here? Because I've never heard anyone object to the storyline or say how messed up it is. Again, maybe because it's handled well, it's funny, but...
Seinfeld was always, the show and the writers always had a knack for delicately walking that line between offensive and inoffensive, and it seems that they've managed to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's very apparent to me what they're doing.
I don't know. I'm just curious if anyone out there, if you want to let us know, you never realized how dark the subject matter is. But anyways, Elaine thinks the whole thing is unconscionable. That is until George says, "Hey, Jerry, the other night I found a whole Weeble village behind the Easy Bake Oven."
Easy Bake Oven?
Ding!
That's perfect. The way she says it, the change in shots, and you see a passed out Celia on her chair with that ding. So good.
Yes, Jerry and George and Elaine are sitting around the coffee table playing with the toys.
One's cupcake.
Oh, me.
That batter is like 30 years old.
You step on it and it flushes.
Why, it's your father giving a tour of a rest stop.
Stop squirming.
Oh, don't look. This is the part where they changed me.
You're like 8 years old.
I was 7.5.
Speaking of Frank Costanza, as we heard him just there, do you think he would have a problem with George going around mutilating squirrels?
Very good.
He better not catch wind of this. Thank you very much.
One of the most disturbing parts of George's childhood is that he wore a diaper when he was 7.5.
Knowing what we've come to expect from George Costanza, totally buy it.
Yes. I think you hear Estelle on the TV as well, right? Stop squirming.
It's nice they included both mom and dad in that.
Yeah.
We've had a couple flashbacks of a young George.
Yeah, from high
whether
school.
Whether it's a video or audio. We heard it in the Festivus, right? And you make glasses. And then...
blow out the candles.
And then, as you said, in high school.
Yeah, probably the character who has the most, from his childhood. Because I don't think we ever see... Well, we see Jerry in high school. Elaine in high school.
Well, that's right. We do see Elaine in high school.
Oh, God, I would have loved to see Kramer in high school.
Yeah.
I just imagine him as a... Oh, he got his, what is it? Equivalency? But I could see Kramer as this 15-year-old burnout.
See, I wonder if he would have been more regimented and had his hair well kept because of the discipline he had to grow up with and his military discharge. So who knows?
Let's cut over to Elaine's office here. Elaine is trying to get some Tic Tacs out of the container when Peterman stops by.
That noise. That's the noise!
What?
That infernal rattling sound that has plagued me these past 2 days, and I could not find the source. In my office, in the hallway, even in the men's room. Shame on you, Elaine!
No, Mr. Peterman, that wasn't me.
That reminds me of the Haitian voodoo rattle torture. You haven't gone over to their side, have you?
No, Mr. Peterman.
Because if I hear one more rattle, just one, you're out on your can. And if you are undead, I'll find out about that, too.
talk.
Oh, right.
Stop it! Voodoo. You gotta stop using these.
Why?
Because they're turning your teeth green?
I only buy the white ones.
Okay. Well, then your teeth are green for a different reason. You just gotta stop carrying these, okay? Just use mouthwash.
I can't. It burns my cankers.
Banaka.
Again.
Right, cankers. I got it. Chew gum.
I hate gum. The only gum I ever liked came with the Mickey Mouse gumball machine. They stopped making that 20 years ago.
Well, Stinky, this is your lucky day.
See? Lou Filerman's a weirdo.
Why? Because the cankers?
Again. Yeah, I know cankers.
And it is odd, too, how the only gum I ever liked came from this gumball machine.
In the early part of that clip, we heard Peterman yammer on about the Haitian voodoo rattle torture. Maybe that's when he... Well, actually, that's not... He was in Burma, not Haiti. But still, I'm sure he was subject to some sort of rattling torture while he was over there, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Who knows what's happened to this guy in the jungle? You like that line from an earlier scene I'm a big fan of. And if you are undead, I'll find out about that too.
He's on
What's wrong with this guy? What does Elaine mention here? Breath mint or Banaka. Here's an easy one for you, Vinny. Can you remember another reference to Banaka on Seinfeld?
First they come up with the original, then they come up with the cherry. They know we want cherry, just give us the cherry.
Right. Joe Davola getting sprayed in the face with cherry Banaka. Oh, also earlier in the scene, when Peterman leaves, Elaine is looking for Lou. A great moment as she's like walking down the hallway, hearing the rattling noise, and she like stops, looks left, looks right.
I was surprised you didn't have any Tic Tacs ready to go for this episode.
No Tic Tacs. I'm not a big mint guy.
Yeah.
I like my gum, but yeah, no mints.
All right.
No more mints. Let's cut over to the Merv Griffin Show for the, well, as we'll know, at the series finale.
Okay, a little later, we're going to be talking with animal expert Jim Fowler.
Where are the cameras?
But first, we're talking with Jerry. Hey, Jerry, you drugged a woman in order to play with her toy collection. How do you feel about that?
It was great. I've done it a few more times since then.
And she doesn't know anything about this?
No, not a thing.
Well, Jerry, we have a little surprise for you. Come on out, Celia.
What kind of sick, twisted creep are you?
What is this? What is she doing here?
It's a new format, Scandals and Animals.
Do you think you can drug me and play with my toys? You've got another thing coming, buddy.
Go, girl.
What kind of woman drinks an entire box of wine?
Mr. Fowler, I have a squirrel here that is a miracle of modern science.
George, I told you, we're booked.
Careful. Hawks and squirrels don't get along together.
Ooh, another interesting confrontation. This could be spicy. Yeah, George, bring him over.
No, you idiot. Hawks eat squirrels.
Are we getting this?
Jim Fowler, man.
I remember him growing up being on, Tonight Show and various things like that. So it's kind of cool that they got him, that Kramer got him for his show.
What about the, he should have been nominated for, no, you idiot, Hawks eat squirrels. I think he does a pretty good job. He has that killer line at the beginning, where are the cameras?
Exactly. Finally, he asked the question that all of us have been wondering, because nobody else seems to want to ask.
The characters are a little confused at the start, like, what is going on here? But eventually everyone just kind of buys into it, and it really does become a show.
Maybe they're just really sympathetic to Kramer being a pod and want to, help him get through his day by going along with it. When Kramer says, well, Jerry, we got a little surprise for you. Coming up, Celia. There's that pronunciation again. Everybody calls her Celia, but Celia. And when she says that line of, you think you can play with my toys? You got another thing coming, buddy. And Newman says, go, girl. I'm instantly transported back to the 90s with, like, that Jerry Springer era of television.
Sally.
Jesse. Raphael.
Raphael, yeah.
What is that?
Hello, Sally.
No, I'm doing Pauly Shore, I think.
Oh, I was doing Gomez Adams. We do not know where they meet.
Oh, that was great.
When Celia comes out, it's just insane. Oh, it's the new format, Scandals and Animals, which is one of the all-time best. I love the back and forth between Jerry and Celia. Well, what kind of woman drinks an entire box of wine? Ooh. And also, Kramer's, he's just so ready to exploit these people. Ooh, an interesting confrontation. Yeah, this could be spicy. George, bring him over.
Well, it's all about the ratings, man.
Yeah. Now, you brought this up earlier, and I wanted to save it for here. I assume you mean when George enters the scene, he has this little, what do you call those things?
It's like a baby Bjorn, but for a squirrel.
Exactly, you got the squirrel. That reminds you of something else, right?
Snowball? Little Snowball? Yeah, but then Jerry say, he's like a squirrel.
Oh my God, whoa.
Sorry, I'm just thinking of all squirrel references in Seinfeld.
That wasn't what you were getting at, though, right?
No, I was, being that it's a couple days removed from Christmas, I'm thinking of Margot getting attacked by a certain squirrel.
Right, in Christmas Vacation. What is that, 89? So right before Seinfeld. Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character...
Margot.
Well, she gets attacked by a dog, but before that, the squirrel jumps on her chest. And it's really the same placement as George here with his squirrel.
Where's Eddie? He usually eats these goddamn things.
Love that shot, too, where, the hawk flies towards George, and it cuts to a shot of Jerry looking, Kramer looking, and Newman just laughing.
Filled with glee that George is about to get attacked by this hawk.
So good.
Apparently, to create that shot, they put food on the camera and had the hawk fly towards the camera to achieve that shot.
And I think it was also filmed on a special day, without the audience, because it was, pretty dangerous, pretty tricky.
Yeah.
It's a great shot, too. And as we'll find out during the credits here at Monk's, the whole set was destroyed thanks to the hawk and the squirrel. George took some damage, too. His face was all cut up. Kramer, however, seems relieved since it was really tough to fill apparently 10 hours a day hosting the show. And, despite what he thinks, I think Kramer was really born to be a talk show host.
Oh, yeah.
Out of all of his professions and gigs on Seinfeld, on the back of the fire truck or working in the bagel shop, I think he's best suited for talk show host.
That actually, in this day of, we got to strike while the iron's hot again and get a spinoff, that would have been a really interesting premise, is to bring back the Merv Griffin Show hosted by Cosmo Kramer. Like, Michael would reprise the role of Kramer as it'd be a direct continuation, from his apartment, and then you just have guests on. Under the guise of there's no audience, there's no cameras.
I like that.
That would have been cool. Because that's what people wanted, I guess we can get into the post-Seinfeld world after we wrap this up.
If you found out, though, say tomorrow that Michael Richards is doing some web series where he plays Cosmo Kramer interviewing people, would you really like that, or do you think the time has passed, the opportunity has passed for him to do something like that?
Well, I mean, when they brought back everybody for Curb, and I saw George alive again, Elaine, Jerry, and Kramer, it felt like, it was just years had gone by, but all these guys were the same. So I would be okay with it as a huge fan. I don't know if the masses of fans would. I would think they would want to see that. But who am I?
In all seriousness, I think it's a better idea than bringing back Seinfeld.
The whole gang.
Yeah, like Will and Grace. Kind of like revamp. That to me seems like the worst idea. But if you were to bring back like a character for like a little stretch of episodes, I think that's awesome.
Well, they brought George back for Comedians in Cars and Newman.
That's true.
So it can be done, and it's done tastefully. But I think
the best part about Michael is it could be more improv based.
Yes,
like a
physical with a touch of interview.
What is it, Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis?
Exactly.
I mean,
something like that.
Kind of produced, kind of scripted, but not really.
I think we ought to go noodle with this, Matt.
All right, we'll talk to Michael's people. Miranda is in the coffee shop as well, and she tells George it's time to go. She's obviously still upset with him. She got some nut bread for the squirrel, who is now sleeping in George's bed. George is on the couch, and as George heads out, he yells at some pigeons outside the window, that they, again, have no deal. So the war continues as we shift gears over to Celia's apartment. Celia, having, broken up with Jerry, very upset, and she's turned to Elaine to console her. And Elaine is being a good friend, helping her out since, she dated Jerry. But as we find out, they're drinking wine and they're eating turkey. And Lou is at the table as well, doing the honors of pouring Celia's wine. Who is this guy?
Oh, he's nobody. Hey, listen, let me top that off for you.
I didn't check the shelf, but I assume the Mickey Mouse gumball machine is in there somewhere.
Would have to be, right?
Yeah. Now, Vinny, before we wrap up here, is there a toy like from your childhood that you would just go, crazy to play with again?
I remember getting a Ninja Turtles hockey set for Christmas, which I absolutely loved. So I think that'd be cool to revisit.
Right on.
What about you?
It's not like a toy I had growing up that I miss. It's a toy I never got that I always wanted. It was also from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It was the Turtle-mobile, the one that, fired the pizzas out of it. I wanted that so badly as a kid. So if I saw that at someone's house, I would go straight for it, for sure.
You'd go bonkos for it.
So, what do you think?
So, Matt, is it possible that this episode is more beautiful than the last time we watched it?
Oh, absolutely. We said it at the top. I think we've made our point clear. This is one of the all-time classics. It's personally one of my favorites from season 9. I love it. I think the Kramer storyline is one for the books. I'm not a huge fan of the whole George Squirrel storyline, but I do love, as dark as it is, and possibly listeners have issues with it, I do like the Jerry Celia storyline this week.
Mm-hmm.
I find it really funny despite the dark subject matter. And speaking of, Newman, fantastic as Kramer's sidekick. But yeah, I mean, what can you say about this that people don't already know and love? What about you?
Yeah, as I said earlier in the episode, Michael does steal the show. It's one of his best performances to date in the series, and so memorable. Everybody knows this scene. They've seen it in all the commercials and clip shows and everything. So that is the highlight, is the Merv Griffin, anything taking place on the Merv Griffin set. And I like the way he interacts with everybody else as well. The confusion and then them going along with it. But it's fabulous. I don't mind the George Squirrel line or storyline as much. I don't care for that girlfriend, Miranda. Kick her to the curb. But I like that George is being thrust into having to take care of this creature that he can't stand.
Yeah, speaking of Miranda, the actress really didn't have much to do with the character, right?
No, she's just like a squirrel advocate, really, or an animal advocate.
And you kind of brought it up too, why is George going through all of this, for Miranda? Maybe if you could have seen something special between the two of them before the squirrel incident or the pigeon incident.
Yeah, if she's Karen the risotto broad, or like you said, maybe Susan, but somebody we care about, or she has a quality that makes George want to go for it.
The woman who George converted to Latvian Orthodox for.
There we go.
Maybe it would make more sense then.
You mentioned Newman, but Peterman has some really nice lines, very memorable this week as well, with the if you're not undead. Yeah, just I enjoyed this episode thoroughly. So
did you mention Lou?
Yeah, that's right, Lou Filerman. He's new here still, and hey, did you know that guy who plays Lou Filerman is Ike Barinholtz's cousin? And yeah, I liked him as well. He made for a nice foil, and then companion for Elaine, so it's kind of nice.
He's one of my favorite single shots, I guess, from the season so far, but I don't know if he'll be one of my favorites by the end.
Yeah.
Certainly memorable.
Yeah.
Now, safe to say, we can bring up our top 24, based on that glowing review, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. Vinny, do you have a number set for this episode?
I most certainly do.
All right, what do you got?
I'm going to say sayonara to the Serenity Now, and I'm going to put the Merv Griffin Show as my number 21 episode, in between the Rye at number 20 and the Yada Yada now at number 22.
And which episode did you lose?
The Serenity Now is out of there.
Oof, Serenity later. Well, I'm going to rank this episode much higher. I'm going to drop it in as my number 10.
Whoa,
watch out. Number 10. So the contest is number 9. Label Maker is number 11. And I'm really going to miss this episode. The Kiss Hello is going
Weird.
bye-bye.
Kissing it goodbye.
Oh, there it is.
All right, that's going to do it for us here on Seincast this week. Please send us an email at seincast@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, or leave us a voicemail at Coco Bosco.
Vinny, what episode do we have next week?
We're discussing the 7th episode of Season 9, The Slicer. But where does the meat go?
For now, I'm Matt.
I'm Vinny.
Signing off.
Mission accomplished. Back to base, Joe.